Welcome back to The Ordinary Effect, the show where we take everyday experiences and uncover the deeper patterns hidden behind them. Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone has experienced but rarely stops to question. You go to a concert, you go to a hockey game, you go to a theater, festival, amusement park, casino, and suddenly the normal rules of money stop applying. A bottle of water costs $6 or $7. A beer costs $14. A pop, $8. A slice of pizza that would be $3 anywhere else is suddenly $9.50. And yet, people line up. They buy it. And sometimes they buy a lot of it. I was recently at an AHL hockey game at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, and I grabbed a copy of the Concessions menu. And let me read you a few things from this. As I said, pepperoni pizza slice, $9.50. You add garlic dip, $3.50. A foot-long hot dog, $15.75. Chicken burrito with nacho chips, $19. And if you want a combo, popcorn bucket and fountain drink, $30. $30 for popcorn and soda. Think about it. You could buy an entire box, 60 bags of popcorn at Costco for around $15 to $19. I was also recently at Casino Rama where a single beer was $14. Now, here's the thing. Everyone complains about this, but everyone keeps paying it. So today, I want to explore the ordinary effect of event concessions, why they cost so much, why people keep buying them, why venues rely on them, and why sometimes people spend more time at the concession stand than they are actually watching the event they paid to see. Look, when you enter a stadium, an arena, a casino, or a theme park, you enter what economists call a closed environment market. You can't leave easily. You can't comparison shop. You have one seller. I mean, you have different concession stands, but essentially, they're all run by the one seller, the one venue. And that seller, that venue, controls everything. In normal life, if a beer costs $14, you would say, no thanks, I'll go somewhere else. But in an arena, in the venue, you have three options. Pay the price, go without, or leave the building. And leaving the building often means missing the show or game or entertainment that you went to see. So the venue has essentially created a temporary monopoly. And monopolies always raise prices. A lot of people assume that concessions are expensive because food costs are high. But that's actually not the main reason. The real reason is concessions subsidize the event itself. Ticket prices alone often don't cover arena rent, security, staff, production, insurance, taxes, artist guarantees, league revenue sharing. So venues rely heavily on per capita spending. In the entertainment industry, there's actually a metric called per cap spend. This is the average amount each person spends inside the venue. For example, if 18,000 fans attend a hockey game and the average concession spending is $25 per person, that's $450,000 in food and beverage revenue for one night. Now imagine concerts, festivals, playoff games. That number can easily climb into millions of dollars per event. So concessions aren't just snacks. They're a major revenue engine. Now, this is where things get fascinating when we talk about the psychology of why people pay it. Because if people truly refuse these prices, the prices would drop. But they don't. So why? Look, there's just several psychological effects at play here. The event mode effect is where I'll start. When people go to events, they mentally switch into celebration mode. Normal financial disciplines, they disappear. It becomes, I'm here to enjoy myself. The same reason people spend $14 on a beer at a concert is the same reason people buy $18 cocktails on vacation. The brain categorizes it as experience spending, not regular spending, experience spending. So the small compared to ticket effect, okay? Now this is another thing to consider. If you paid $180 for a concert ticket, a $9 slice of pizza suddenly feels small. Even though that pizza would normally cost $3, your brain compares it to the largest purchase, not the normal price. Then there's the convenience premium. Humans will pay more for convenience, and nothing is more convenient than food that's 10 feet away from your seat. You don't have to drive, you don't have to cook, you don't have to plan. You take 20 steps. Convenience is incredibly valuable. But let's talk about some of the more ridiculous examples, because some concession items feel almost comical. Water. A bottle of water that costs maybe 25 cents wholesale is sold for $6 or $7. That's a 2,000% markup. Pop. A fountain soda costs the venue maybe 15 cents. It's sold for $8. Popcorn. It's one of the cheapest foods on earth to produce. A bucket that costs maybe 50 cents in ingredients sells for $12 or more. And the king of them all, beer. A beer at a stadium can easily cost $12 to $16, which is roughly 3 to 4 times the price of a bar. Yet, the lines for beer are often the longest lines in the building. Now, here's something that I've also noticed at events in terms of the concession wanderers, is what we'll call them. And maybe you've seen this too. Because on top of the high prices, this is something that gets under my skin a little bit. There are people who seem to live at the concession stand. They leave their seats constantly. Beer run, snack run, another beer run, nachos, candy, another drink. They miss half the show, half the game. Yet they keep going back, even with the high prices. I witnessed it. I saw it at the last concert I was at. I saw it at the AHL game. I've seen it over and over again. The same people doing the same thing. Why do they do this? It's social. Concessions are where people interact. They talk. They meet other fans. They move around. Another part is boredom. If the game slows down, people wander. And then there's alcohol, which lowers spending restraint. A $14 beer becomes easier to justify after the first $14 beer. Food and entertainment have always gone together. Think about it. Movies and popcorn, baseball and hot dogs, hockey and beer. These combinations are almost rituals. They're part of the tradition. You could go to a baseball game and eat nothing, but somehow it wouldn't feel the same. The vendors know this. They're not just selling food, they're selling tradition. I mean, with baseball, I've always been more of a peanuts kind of guy instead of a hot dog, but you can't discount the hot dog, right? Look, why do the prices keep going up? The truth is simple. Prices rise because people keep paying them. Every year, venues test the limit. $10 beer, $11 beer, $12 beer. And if the sales volume doesn't drop, the price sticks. This is called demand elasticity. If demand doesn't drop when prices increases, the price increase continues. And stadium demand is surprisingly inelastic, meaning people keep buying anyway. So are there alternatives? Some venues are starting to experiment. Lower priced concession stands, value menus, free water refill stations, family pricing. But it's rare, very rare, because from a business perspective, the current system works. So the next time you're at a game or at a concert or a casino and you see a $14 beer or a $9 slice of pizza, you're not just seeing expensive food. You're seeing a fascinating combination of economics, psychology, tradition, convenience, and human behavior. Because the ordinary effect is this. People complain about concession prices constantly, yet the lines are always full, and as long as the lines stay full, the prices will keep rising. And somewhere in an arena tonight, someone is paying $7 for a bottle of water, and not even thinking twice. If you enjoyed today's episode of The Ordinary Effect, make sure to follow the show, share it with someone who stood in one of those concession lines and thought, wait, did I really just pay that much for this? Until next time, I'm your host, Guido Prino, and sometimes the most ordinary moments reveal the most interesting truths. Take care, everyone.